Alright, and the number one underrated holiday special movie here on the top 14 is Jolly Molly Christmas from Disney's animated series Tailspin. Now, Jolly Molly Christmas did make its debut as part of the regular Tailspin lineup back in 1990, and it was, in my opinion, the very first very first Christmas episode in the Disney afternoon era. I mean, basically, you had DuckTales, Gummy Bears, and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers before this, and none of them had Christmas specials. Jolly Molly Christmas on Tailspin was the first one ever. And overall, it is a great, just a tremendous, oh my gosh, it makes you wonder why this was never, ever uh, aired in prime time when it first debuted. I mean, it's so good. It is so good. Basically, the storyline on this is Rebecca Cunningham, informs Molly that her one true wish, if she could ever get it for Christmas, is to see it snow because she was raised in the snow as a child during Christmas. So Molly decides she's going to send a letter to Santa asking him to give her mom her wish. Well, what happens is everybody basically tries to help make that wish come true, especially Baloo. When they find out what it is. And how they find out what it is when, after, I guess you could say, Baloo fails in trying to keep a promise to replace a candy cane for Molly that broke on her. He says, "I'm gonna fly to prove to you I'm on the level. I'm gonna fly you to the North Pole to meet Santa, and you can give him your letter." So basically, he asks Louie to dress up as Santa and dress the whole island up to be like the North Pole. Do the works, if you will. And when they finally find out what Molly's wish is, Baloo and Kit convince Louie to keep Molly occupied while they go back to Cape Suzette, get the soap flakes that they were supposed to deliver, put them on the plane, and then dump them out in front of the island to make it look like it's snowing. Of course, when they show up to do this, Rebecca shows back up after doing a little bit more Christmas shopping and asking them what they're doing with the soap flakes. Kit basically has to step in for Baloo before Baloo really gets in trouble and kind of explain that Molly made this wish for you to have it snow. They made this wish for you to see it snow again. And Rebecca, after hearing this, is so sweetened and so taken by it that she actually goes along with them to do it. But of course, in typical Tailspin fashion, they are attacked by the pirates, the air pirates, after the air pirates, who I guess are out to get Christmas of their own, hear about this big old special gift that's they're delivering, that Baloo and everybody's delivering to Molly. And so I guess in a way to get them off their tail, they give them what they want. They basically dump all the snowflakes out, dump all the soap flakes out of the plane, and it basically causes the air pirates planes or biplanes to kind of conk out, and they end up crashing and sinking into the ocean. Now, while all this is happening, Louie, who's trying to keep Molly occupied and busy, and distracted while the others show up with the soap flakes, in which they find out they don't have much of anymore. While this is happening, all the customers that usually come in for a Christmas party during Christmas at Louie's are locked out because of what's going on. And what happens is, as soon as they finally break their way in, they kind of ask, what are you doing? What's up? You never lock us out, kind of deal. And it's like during this whole commotion that the beard on Louis gets knocked off. Molly sees that it's not really Santa, breaks into tears, grabs the letter away from Louis that she had for Santa, and just runs. She runs out in tears, runs up a hill, cries, basically tosses the letter off the basically tosses the letter off the cliff, lets the wind catch it, and unknown to her, as the wind's catching it, Santa, I guess, passes by and catches it as well. Basically, the wind takes it up to Santa. And so while she's still crying and everything, everybody comes looking for her, and as soon as they find her, Molly kind of has gone from crying to happy, to joyful, because as she's hearing them coming, wondering, okay, now what do I do? She kind of gets this sense. Her ear twitches, and she kind of looks, and she looks up, and then she sees with her own eyes Santa. Now, you don't see him on screen, but you could tell just by her expression that she sees him, and that as soon as the others finally come up there to her, and Rebecca puts a coat around Molly, she's wondering what Molly's looking at. She says, I saw him, points up. Rebecca looks up, Baloo looks up, and it's like, they can't believe what they're seeing. And then after everybody else, and comes up on the cliff with them, here comes the snowflake down. Comes all of a sudden, here comes the snowflake right from. I mean, the animation is just tremendous in this special, and with the snowflake part, it's great. Comes straight down and lands on Rebecca's nose, and then it just starts snowing and snowing and snowing and snowing, and it's not soap flakes or anything; it's real snow. And I love the ending of this. When Louis asks Blue, "How'd you do it?" and Blue's like, "I didn't, and you wouldn't believe me if I told you on how it really happened." Basically, he tells Louis, like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you on how this just occurred. And Molly, is looking at us basically as Rebecca picks her up, and Molly kind of looks at us and says, "I would." Tells her Merry Christmas, and you can see the tears kind of coming out of Rebecca's eyes as the special ends. Overall, it's very, very good. Jolly Molly Christmas, even though it was a regular part of the regular lineup, should have been, in my opinion, its own primetime special. It's a very, very good special. Great animation, a great story for the holidays. And if you've not seen it yet, I suggest you find it. You can probably find it on YouTube. You can find it possibly on Daily Motion, VO, wherever. But I suggest you watch it. It's very, very good. I highly recommend it. And that is why Jolly Molly Christmas is the number one underrated holiday special slash movie, in my opinion, here on the top 14. And if you agree with me or not, that's great. But that's all I have to say. I thank you for watching the top 14 underrated holiday specials and movies. I'm sorry if I coughed a little bit or something like that. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoyed this countdown. And I'll talk to you all later. And you too have a good holiday season. And it all starts, the holiday season, believe it or not, October 31st.